And Shelley, I sent emails of the complete set of the site plan, all pages to you all about a half an hour ago, just FYI, want to look at the details. It's more than just the 5 pages that were sent last night.
Thank you.
One. All right. Yeah.
So just the two commissioners.
Ready?
I'm ready. We ready?
Yep.
And they get the material in front of me here. Good afternoon. Welcome to the City of Hagerstown's Planning Special Planning Commission meeting. Today is February 4th, 2022. And this special meeting is called to review one case, excuse me, frog, which I'll introduce here in a minute. First, I want to call a roll. With me in the room is Ron Thomas. And joining us virtually via Zoom, Judy Weller and Shelley McIntyre, our city council representative. And absent was Chris Davis, Tamara Martinez, and Jim Stone. Also in the room is Kathy Moore and Steve Bachmiller and Megan Flick, who were the planning staff. So the one case that we'll be reviewing today is the Tech High School diesel repair training building on 50 West Oak Ridge Drive. So Steve, you want to orient us?
Yes, this is site plan ZS 2021-13 and Forest Conservation Plan FC 2021-07. This is for the construction of a building to house a diesel repair training facility at the Tech High School located at 50 West Oak Ridge Drive. The site plan is for the construction of a 70-foot by 100-foot building with 3 service bays to be used by the technical high school to teach diesel repair skills. It will be located to the west of the main building, just off of an existing paved circulation area. Additional disturbance includes a driveway to the side of the building, expanding the paved area behind the main building, and grading in order to install stormwater management facilities to meet the needs of the development. You recently reviewed and approved a land swap plat requested by the Board of Education and the Board of County Commissioners that traded land between the school campus and Dowwood Park. The purpose of that plat was to transfer the land necessary to construct this facility to the Board of Education and remove interior lot lines. This building is constructed across the recently abandoned property line. That needed to happen in order for this building to go in. There were no forest resources impacted. 4 trees will be removed. Based on the disturbed area, there's a requirement to provide 7,823.4 square feet of forest mitigation. The Board of Education requests compliance be achieved through contributing to the fee in lieu program to meet that requirement. And that would be an estimated $2,700. Keep in mind, when you make a motion, you just deal with square feet, not the dollars. Because that's the program. Given that street trees have already been provided along Oak Ridge Drive as part of the prior site plan, staff endorses use of fee in lieu in this situation. The applicant seeks approval of an alternate landscape plan for this project. The ordinance's requirements for landscaping mostly involve parking areas and buffering adjacent incompatible use classifications, but so much of the ordinance, of what the ordinance enumerates does not apply here. The applicant proposes to replace the 4 trees to be removed with new trees, 2 to the north of the building, 2 to the south. Given distance of the improvements to the property line, no new parking being created, and other factors, staff recommends approval of the request for an alternate landscaping plan. Parking sufficiency is determined per the ordinance by the Planning Commission. Determining what is proposed is 1 per employee and ample student and visitor parking as determined by the Planning Commission. There are 300 spaces on site. No new parking is proposed. The following agencies have provided approvals: engineering, planning, water, wastewater, and fire marshal has conditional subject to a couple minor revisions. Staff recommends 1, a determination that the existing parking on site is sufficient for the expanded use. 2, approval of the alternate landscaping plan. 3, approval of the forest conservation plan, including providing fee in lieu contribution to meet the entirety of the 7,823.4 square foot requirement for this project. And 4, approval of the site plan itself, the site plan being conditioned on resolving the remaining comments from the fire marshal. And here today we have via Zoom Chad Criswell. Also in-house, we have Rob Rollins, also from the Board of Education, and the engineer Craig Blymire.
Any questions of Steve? I have 2, 3 things. I see a lot of fencing. What is the height of the fence? Thank you. What is the construction? Yeah, chain link.
That's to provide a secure area behind school for the kids coming out of the building and working to the new building, the main building, the new building, that you can keep that area secure.
Yeah, I see you're also fencing in some areas where you park cars for the auto folks.
That whole back acre.
Yeah. So that's one. If we have been encouraging to do more vertically oriented fencing materials. So that's something for us to consider. Is there an additional trash dumpsters? All right, and then one, it's really beyond my expertise, but I noticed it anyhow. And I guess the city has looked at this, right? So
yeah.
I see that you're routing some stormwater management to the new ponds, but some of them are coming in where the water is going out.
The one going straight through, that's already roof drainage that's going back to that area anyway, that it is right now. And that pushes over the ponds because the roof area. The roof area that's feeding into that would be too large for the ponds. Those ponds only can handle a half an acre. So we're handling in those ponds, we're handling all of the proposed impervious area that we are
putting on the site in those three facilities.
Um, Are all three ponds doing whatever they're called, cleaning up the water?
Yes, yes, sir. They're microbial retention ponds.
Okay. Again, the city engineer approved it, but I just had that question. All righty. Anybody else have any questions?
Doug, can you just, it's hard to hear one of the people in the room. Could you just reiterate how tall the fence was and what it was made of? It was hard to hear that.
6 foot vinyl coated fencing.
Okay, thank you.
Chain link.
Sorry.
But it is vinyl coat
Yes, yeah.
for color.
Okay.
And from what I can tell from the plan, it's going to be at least 100 feet from the closest property line.
Yeah, yeah,
And down behind.
yep. Well, the police tell us actually that the vertical oriented and more expensive fences is harder to climb than chain link. So that's why
Right.
we bring that up.
Any fence keeps the honest people out.
Yes, that's true. That's true. All right. Any other questions? Yeah, we can, we really need to consider all 4 points that Steve brought out to us. We can do it lump sum, or we can do it as 4 different motions and 4 different determinations. If you all want to put up with me, I think we ought to do it in 4 different discussions in each vote.
I think so, because if there's any question on them, we don't have to go through the whole thing.
Is that okay, everybody else?
Yes.
That's fine by me.
Okay. All right, the first one he pointed out to us is we need, every time we look at a school, the zoning ordinance and land use management ordinances say that it's up to us to determine if there's enough parking. And of course, we've done that because schools are different animals than shopping centers and everything else. As far as I'm concerned, if the school board feels they have enough parking, I don't think we need to try to figure out whether it's right or not.
Yes, I can give you some numbers too, just if it helps. There's 300 spaces and possibly even more than that.
Can you all hear?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thanks.
As Steve noted, there's at least 300 spots on site. I think the school borrows some on that large apron in the back too, and lets some staff members and people park there. So we may be at a little slightly in excess of 300 spots. There's on the entire campus. That's Antietam Academy and the Tech High. So and those parking lots are right adjacent to each other. The 2 schools have just under 100 staff members. So and I checked with the school this morning to see how many parking permits they gave to students. It was 157, if I remember correctly. So we're under the 300 with that. And the new building, we don't expect it, well, we expect that it'll add maybe 40 students, 20 per grade to the school system, to the school population. So 157 out of the capacity of the schools, about 30% of the student body right now is driving. So you take 30% of the 40 extra students, you get about 12 more cars that you might expect based on the new building. Still under the 300. So I think we're going to be okay.
Any questions on this this point? I like to.
No,
What's that again?
I was going to move approval that the existing parking on site is sufficient for the expanded use.
That's a motion of yours? I'm not, was
Yeah.
your okay. Is there a second on that?
I'll second it.
Can we boost up the sound a little bit?
From that?
Well, Judy's hard for me to hear at least. And I've just turned up my hearing aid, so.
Okay. Sorry.
It's kind of muffled too.
Yeah,
Well, I'm doing the best I
Yeah, that sounds better.
Okay,
Okay, so there's been a motion made and second that we accept the parking. We find that the parking is adequate for this site with this new addition. We ready to vote?
yes.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I,
Opposed? So no one's opposed. I rule to pass unanimously. The second point then we need to look at is whether we're willing to approve a alternate landscaping plan as presented. I don't know where those 2 trees are going. I'm not going to dig through all that, but those 4 trees. But the significant part of it is, oh, okay. I thought those are the ones to be taken out.
The 4 that are taken out are all kind of clustered down where the 2 on the south end are.
Okay. Alrighty, so we do need to approve that plan as well as accepting the what do they call that?
Is it alternate landscaping plan?
Forest mitigation, forest mitigation of 7,823.4 square feet. Did someone want to make that motion?
Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, 4. Okay, is that included in the second one here where it says approval of the?
Those combining 2 and 3 from the list at the bottom.
Okay.
Oh, I am, aren't I?
Yeah, that's, yeah.
So much for doing them separately. All right, let's go back to Plan A and approve the alternate landscaping plan first.
Okay.
Can
Make a
someone-
motion that we approve the alternate landscaping plan.
second,
Thank you. We ready to vote? All those in favor say aye.
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 I,
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes unanimously. Now, the Forest Conservation Plan, including providing a fee in lieu of to meet the requirements for 7823.4 square feet.
I'll make that motion.
Great, thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Are we ready to vote? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes unanimously. And finally, the site plan itself.
I make a motion that we approve the site plan,
Remaining comments of fire.
pursuant to the comments from the fire marshal. I think that's the only one we have, or has that been, okay,
No,
From the fire.
a couple of comments from that.
couple of the comments from the fire marshal.
Is there a
Second,
second? Okay.
Yep.
That was Judy, right?
yep,
All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any
I,
opposed? That one passes unanimously also. Thus concludes our meeting.
For those of you who are in attendance, just FYI, we kind of got jammed up a bit these last few days with our schedule. Look for your planning commission packet for next week's meeting on your doorsteps tomorrow morning. You won't be seeing them tonight.
Hey, Steve, don't worry about mine. I am leaving for vacation here in a couple of hours, so I will not be at next week's meeting.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Have fun.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Meeting's adjourned.
Okay.
There's no comment that I can make.
I have to take the meeting now? Should I end it? Yep. Okay.